Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to talk about MakerDao and why it could be a rare jewel in the world of DeFi and in the world of cryptocurrency overall. Maker is the biggest DeFi project on the Ethereum blockchain, and I think it can expand a lot more in the future. It is kind of expensive per coin, but that's because there's only 1 million Maker available. Maker is basically a smart contract on Ethereum that backs and stabilizes the value of DAI through a dynamic system of collateralized debt positions. I'm guessing, based on that, how it works is, I guess the more DAI there is, or however DAI works, that really affects the value of Maker. Maker enables anyone to leverage their Ethereum assets to generate DAI on the Maker platform. Once generated, DAI can be used in the same manner as any other cryptocurrency. It can be freely sent to others, used as payments for goods and services, or held as long-term savings. Importantly, the generation of DAI also creates components needed for the robust decentralized lending platform. So DAI is actually a stablecoin, and stablecoins are like the hot thing. Also, you guys don't know, recently DAI actually moved beyond just being collateralized by Ethereum. It can be collateralized. It will be able to be collateralized by other coins as well, Bitcoin, XRP, EOS, whatever. The single collateralized by Ethereum coin has been named Psi, but DAI is going to be like can be multi-collateralized. And like I said, this is the biggest DeFi project on Ethereum, and I think it's going to expand hugely because if you really think about it, like Christine Lagarde, Mark Carney, and everyone else, they've been talking about making maybe a global currency to replace the USD, and most of the times they talk about a stable coin that's backed by a basket of currencies. Now, that's by G20 currencies, but if they didn't want something that's completely backed by currencies, they could turn to something like the DAI system, which is backed by cryptocurrencies. So you have a lot of it. Most of it's backed by Ethereum right now, but it could be backed by Bitcoin in the future. Some of it might be backed in XRP or TRX or EOS or whatever. It's going to be able to be backed by a large amount of cryptocurrencies, and I can see that being like part of. It won't be like the one world currency, because the world governments want to have control over certain things, and they don't want a decentralized thing being like the one world currency. But it could be part of a reserve. It could be like one part of a reserve, along with like the other major world currencies. And if that happens, then DAI can actually be very, very big. It is a stable coin, so it's more likely to function as that role. It won't have the fluctuations of the market. But I think if DAI is used in that manner, then Maker will definitely be worth a lot more. Remember, there are only 1 million Makers. I think if you vastly increase the number of DAI out there, you will actually increase the value of Maker. Because of those projections and the fact that this project is growing and the demand for stablecoins will go up in the future, regardless of this becomes part of the reserve or not, there'll be just people wanting to make loans off of stablecoins and make loans off of cryptocurrency, which is exactly what the DAI ecosystem does. So the MakerDao system is basically a credit facility that issues loans with certain interest rates. If the interest rate is low, people are encouraged to borrow more, lock up more Ethereum. The interest rate to holders is financed from the stability fee that currently goes to repurchase and burn Maker. So essentially, the more usage of a DAI there is, the more Maker is actually going to be worth. So because I do think Maker's use and collateralizing loans will actually go up in the future, and it's not only going to be backed by Ethereum, it can be backed by other cryptocurrencies too. I think you really should look at MakerDao as part of your portfolio. I think it is safer than most other coins too, because it is based on a stable coin, and I don't think the DAI system is actually going anywhere. And I think the DAI system can almost only expand. So yes, is there a risk to it? Of course, it's a cryptocurrency project, but I do think it's much safer than many other projects, and I do think there's great potential for growth. Remember, even though Maker is $500 a coin, there's only 1 million of them, so the market cap is only $500 million. It's by far the biggest DeFi project, and I think even at this size, it has massive expansion potential, and it could expand to multiple billions of dollars in the future, and become a big part of this cryptocurrency loans and finance system, even bigger than Nexo or Seller. MakerDao, definitely take a look at it. All right, that is today's episode. Thank you and have a nice day.